Alright, so I'll show you how to make that 45-degree angle cut. I haven't set this up, so I just need to do a couple things. Take off the fence for my table saw. Notice the nasty garage. So this is the miter piece that I have for my table saw. It might look a little bit different from the one that you have for yours. This little piece here fits into this track, allowing it to slide parallel to the blade itself. But the fence, notice it's perpendicular to the blade. I just need to slide this back over because it's not in its usual position due to the fact that I was using it for another project last time. Lowering my table, locking it into place, locking the table from sliding side to side. Now I need my board. So the first way to do this is to set the miter to a 45-degree angle. Once I have it there, I will lock it in place, like so. Now I can just lay the 2x4 flat on the table, slide the miter directly into the saw blade, and I'll get the cut right here. And it will be the 45-degree angle that I want. Now doing this handheld doesn't produce the best results, because what happens is once you start feeding the board into the saw starts pulling it along the side of the miter, and it slides it out of position, and you just get a crooked cut, or it doesn't work right, or the saw blade can bind and stop turning, and all kinds of stupid stuff can happen. So what I like to do is I like to use a C-clamp and actually clamp the piece of wood to the miter so it's a lot more sturdy and it doesn't move. And then I can just simply grab the C-clamp and feed it through, and I get a much more accurate cut, the same way I would if I handheld it, except it's a lot more clean, a lot more accurate. Let me just put this away real quick. So the second method I'm going to show you involves adjusting the angle of the blade relative to the table, or vice versa, the angle of the table relative to the blade, and leaving the miter in its normal position where it's perpendicular to the blade. So in my case, I adjust the tabletop. Some saws you have to adjust the angle of the blade and the tabletop stays in its normal position, which in my mind is preferable, because then you don't have a bunch of pieces of wood laying on the table and trying to slide off. So it's not so obvious in the video here, but this marking is indicating that I have the table set to a 45-degree angle. And now I'm just locking it in place. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the miter to slide the board through, and it's perpendicular to the blade as it normally would be. And this time I just have to rotate the piece of wood 90 degrees. So my angle of the saw blade is relative to the same surface of the board, like this.